we have a whiteboard. So I wanted to go over something because this is a very important topic, and I think this is important because people need to know the math behind it. So, oh man, crazy hair. So what we have that I've been abusing personally for the past several years now, because it's a business write-off for me as a literal business expense because I have a formalized LLC. That's important for me personally because, again, I have a formalized LLC, so I can do this. I use this as a tax write-off. Other people do not have that ability, which is where we get to the math. Sorry, there was a little thingy behind there. Whoa, dude, that's like... Okay, weird. That was weird. That's strange. Get over. There we go. Most people can't use that reasoning and logic to write off the $9 a month. So what we have is our new handy dandy whiteboard. And I am a big old nerd. I do code and math and things. So I love having whiteboards. And I finally have one in my office. But we now have this beautiful, beautiful world here where we can do this some basic math here, right? So we have, it's $8.99 a month, so we'll call it 9 times 12 months, right? So we're gonna go, call it $9 because $8.99, why not, right? And we're gonna do this times 12, right? So we have 12 months, which equates to roughly, let's see, 9 times 10, 90 plus $18, $108, right? Okay, cool. Oops. Again, I have to, so here, I'll show you real quick. So if I write this straightforward for me, it's actually backwards for you guys. So I have to write this backwards. So it's actually, oh no, 1. And now we have it looking correct on the board, which is important for us. So now that we know what the yearly cost of the subscription is, right? This is important here. The subscription operates on a 1/6 in year-based system, right? So the first few months, you only get 1% back. The next 6 to 12, whatever months, whatever, I don't remember what the exact breakdown is, you get 2%. And then the year forward, everything after that year is when you get that magical, tasty 3%. So, something to keep in mind here. This really needs to be times 2. So, we're going to do this times 2. Which gives us, backwards again. It's a learning experience, guys. You just have to accept the trials and tribulations here. Oh. Is that right? 216? That looks backwards. Curses. See, this is the hard part about this, right? Like, this is why people don't do the whiteboard things. Oh. There we go. $216. Now, you, in theory, can make all of your $108 back during the 1% window. However, you would have to spend a substantially larger amount of money, about $10,800. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. So for me personally, this is kind of where the math gets interesting. This is where you start acknowledging the fact that this is at least a 2-year plan, right? So you have 2 years of doing this before you can truly begin like, okay, this is worth it. Like, this isn't one of those things where you're like, oh, I'll just get the subscription for this one transaction because it's $1,000. I'll get $2 back. It's worth. I mean, you can do that, but like, why? Because then you forget to cancel it, and then you lose money, and then the next month, if you don't cancel it in time, now you're out $6. Like, not really worth it. So we have to go on the long-term plan here because this is where it makes sense. So $216. At $3 a pop per 100 you get back, $1,000 is $30. So we can adopt this math here again. This is $216, or roughly 7/30s, which means that's $7,000. So that's where we get that number from. No, the glare. The glare is too high. I wrote that 7 so nice, too. Where's my glare spot? The glare spot's like right. Okay. So, this is where we get this number from. After the first 12 months, so the 13th month, you should be ready to spend $7,000. You will make back $210 of your $216. That turns us into a zero cost sum thing for the next year. Now, your other argument here is you can save this sum and you can do 13 months of subscription fees, which again, like, I'm not going to try and do all the math breakdowns for these because it gets annoying. But if you do the 13 months only, you know, you're looking at 100 and what? We're talking 117 bucks. Yeah, so 117 bucks, which means again we get this beautiful number of this, roughly $4,000. This is if you do the 13-month plan. This will make you money, not much, a whopping total of $120, which will give you a net gain of, wait for it, we have 1, we have a 1, and we have a 7, which gives you a whopping total of $3. We've made so much money for this. Don't do this. So we're going to go back to this 2-year timeline. So this is why this becomes so powerful, and this is why I've been abusing the absolute crap out of it for years. I spend a lot of money on TCGPlayer. This is not me bragging. This is just what I have done for the past 5 years. I have built a business up, well, 3 years formalized 3 years. Most of the first year and a half, 2 years is just me being a degenerate card player, just buying cards to play with. And that's how we get this, without TCGPlayer subscription fees and you being a degenerate. Because you found a brand new game and you just love it so much and you have to buy all the things for it. Don't do that. Anyway, so we have this beautiful scenario now. So, assuming you spend more than $4,000 a year, and the exact number on this, if you want to do like literally dollar for dollar, you have 108 bucks. Again, this is pretty straightforward math. So we're going to do this again, 390. So you get 3,000 bucks. And then that gets us to $90. Another 18 we have to make up. So again, we're doing 3 per 100 here. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, which is 6. So you got another beautiful... The 6s I keep writing the right way forward, and it is mucking with my brain. There we go. So we got 6 hundo, which means you need to spend $3,600 a year to cover your subscription fee cost. If you continue to do this year over year, this turns it into a zero-sum factor. Now, the things that remove this from consideration are you're doing direct and you're just buying cards like crazy because that's just what you do and you want the direct convenience. This no longer matters because you're just at a sunk cost at that point. The other way this no longer matters is if you're using it as a business expense. Hello, that's what I do. But again, this doesn't apply to like 97% of the people out there. 3.99% of them are going to be generous that just want it anyway. But this is the key takeaway. The average individual that is not utilizing direct constantly and not utilizing the other perks of financial reasoning, this is what you need to spend a year. This is USD per year to make this subscription worth it. This turns it into a zero cost to you. So if you go back and you look at all of your TCGPlayer purchases for the past year, and you are over $3,600, or even at $3,600 on average, you should and can get this TCGPlayer subscription. Now, keep in mind that first 11 months gives you this, because you have effectively 12 months and change to make up, because that first year is just absolutely terrible margins, right? So the first 6 months at 1%, $10,000 is $100. Like, that's horrible. $5,000 at 2% is also $100. So these numbers are absolutely terrible. I threw my pen. One moment. So really we're focusing on that back half thing because, again, we do everything long-term on this channel. There's no short-term Timmies on here. We go long-term, boys. We always go long-term. Just like my beard. Seriously, this is only a few months of, like, this thing's getting kind of majestic. I think we're gonna go down to here. We're gonna go like full, we're gonna have fun with this. So, because we do everything long-term on this channel here, right? We have this scenario that you have to take into account. So, this is a big spender account here. I guarantee you, a majority of you people that are watching these videos, it does not warrant to get the subscription. I will say, however, the subscription does give you the added bonus, which can completely offset this when they do the subscriber-only sales. They don't do them every year, or they don't do them as constant. I think there's like 1 or 2 of them a year they do. But as we've seen from the last couple of holiday sales that TCGPlayer has done, there are plenty of 10% sales for you as a non-subscriber to also take advantage of, which is wonderful. Now, if TCGPlayer ever shifts over to a subscriber-only model for the sales, then you just have to get it because, like, you know, you have one sale, you can spend $1,000 and you're going to get back like 13%, which pays for your fee for the year, which is just going to make more people get the subscription fees, which TCGPlayer might do. Who knows? Maybe they'll just do like one non-subscriber sale a year this year. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will because it's too cost effective for them to keep the sales going. So we have this wonderful scenario now where you need to spend $3,600 a year. If you do that, fantastic. If you don't, I would reevaluate what you were doing with the TCGPlayer subscriptions. Because if you were under that spending limit, you need to be extremely specific on how you're acquiring and what you're purchasing. Which means, again, that $110 right here could be used to purchase an extra booster box. For you, if your budget is less than $1,000 a year, you should be prioritizing the booster box. However, if your budget is now entered into the thousands of dollars a year, it is time to begin to evaluate that TCGPlayer subscription. This is very important because I don't think a lot of people really sit down and think about the cost savings long-term on these kind of things. This is truly a $7,000 expense once you initialize it because you have to run it for 2 years to really maximize the number of sales you get, the cash back, the time you have to be able to spread out your spending. Because again, most people, even myself included, I don't just go drop $7,000 on TCGPlayer on a casual weekend. Like, I don't do it. I'll pick up like $100 here, like maybe like a really good deal that popped up. Someone listed a booster box like $35 off for some weird reason. I'll snap it real quick if I see it. Like, that stuff aside, I don't really purchase on TCGPlayer. So all of my purchases are dedicated to the sale weekends, which are very much planned. I set money aside every month, so that I can go in and acquire a bunch of this stuff on these sale weekends. And it's very specific and very targeted when I do this. So for me, this is what I spend after several months of savings, waiting for these opportune moments. Generally speaking, people don't just go blow $7,000 on TCGPlayer. Saint, if you're watching, I know you did it. But we have this wonderful scenario now. So we've now isolated the cost per year. We've isolated our total cost for 2 years, roughly. It was about $7,000. It's technically like $7,200 if you want to be like super specific, and that'll get you like the exact dollar amount you need. But this is what we have to do. This is the math of things you have to do. This is why you have to know, okay, does this cost make sense for me? And most cases it can if you do it properly. A lot of people don't do it properly, so they get wrecked. And we want to avoid people being wrecked, because that is not what we're here about. So I hope this helps. If you've watched this, gotten to the end, and enjoyed my ranting and my whiteboard as I've learning steadily how to write backwards. I hope this has been beneficial. If it has, comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And we've now entered the realm of the whiteboards. And again, remember guys, our goal at the end of the year here. Let's see if I can draw this correctly. Oh, this is so goofy. Oh. The goal at the end of the year here is to do this. So we hit stonks, because we want to be stonking. That's how we roll. We want to make all the monies from all the cardboards, because it's how we do things here. But this is a very important thing to take into account. There's other shenanigans you can do with business expenses if you set up an LLC, but again, the majority of people are not going to be doing this. So this is the number you need to keep in mind. I hope this was helpful. Like, comment, subscribe, share, twiddle the notification button, as Saint would say. We're always buying collections. DM me those things. No dirty pixie fools. But enjoy. Have fun with the math. Bye.